Yeah, it's a little bit awkward that Robin's here. Of course, we're not on the best of terms. Huh.
My desire and intention and has always been to have a good relationship with Christine. That's what I'm putting forward.
Because these relationships do need to get mended.
We've had such a struggle with this. I'd almost rather just take some time to get in a better place with you and me.
Hi friends, let's talk about Christine Brown Woolley's new book. I finished reading it a couple of days ago, and since then, I've gone back through many chapters, rereading sections to better understand my thoughts. We've already gone over videos, highlights, and surface-level reviews, but now I want to share a more critical take. This isn't about attacking Christine personally, but some parts of the book may surprise or even upset readers. One of the most striking things is how the book exposes the deception behind the television show. For years, the audience was led to believe a version of events that wasn't entirely true. Christine herself reveals contradictions, especially when it comes to her involvement with multi-level marketing products and her promotion of natural supplements, while admitting that she relies on certain medications. These things don't always line up with the image she has tried to project. For those who care about the topic of polygamy, the book will feel unsettling. Many viewers believe the family's purpose on the show was to present plural marriage in a positive light, maybe even as a healthier alternative to the well-known abusive groups. Yet Christine admits that their church, the Apostolic United Brethren, was not much different from the FLDS, despite repeated claims to the contrary. This revelation is painful because it suggests the family knew all along but kept quiet, continuing to sell the image of a safe, supportive faith. Christine's memories are also complicated. At times, she speaks fondly of her upbringing, while in other moments she admits it was life inside a cult. She recognizes that she raised her children in that same environment, yet she struggles to hold herself accountable for the choices she made. She often writes about how the culture breeds narcissism, and even admits to finding narcissistic traits in herself. Her marriage to Cody brought undeniable trauma. She describes the lies she told during filming, not out of malice but to survive. If she didn't go along with the narrative, she risked losing Cody's attention and affection, as well as his involvement with her children. That kind of emotional withdrawal left her trapped in a cycle of denial. Even now, there's still some avoidance of reality. She acknowledges that the show damaged her family, and that her kids no longer want to be part of it, especially her youngest daughter. In the epilogue, she openly wonders why filming continues at all. She believed that leaving Cody would also mean leaving the show, but her contract tied her to it. Throughout the book, Christine shifts between portraying Cody as controlling and not controlling. In the end, she suggests that the show has helped her family by giving them voices and forcing them to reflect on their experiences. She admits to jealousy, sadness, and insecurity, but also to moments of joy and motivation. Still, the contradiction remains. How can the show be a realistic representation if so much of it was based on lies? Readers are left asking themselves whether the honesty lies in the story told on screen, or in the hidden truths Christine now shares. The filming crew has always been kind and supportive. When we left the hospital with Truly after her birth, one of them even rode along with us. Over the years, they've become like uncles to her, watching her grow up while we've also seen them change, from young singles to spouses and then parents. They've consistently tried to make filming easier for us, even during difficult times. Still, my children are ready to close this chapter. Aspen once told me, "I've lived your life long enough. Iwan to live mayon now." Truly also doesn't want to appear anymore. After I separated from Cody, she was on set once and quickly decided she wanted no part of it. Though she still joins family activities, she hasn't stepped back onto the filming set. I've never let her watch the show, especially in recent years, and most of my other kids don't watch it either. I was honestly shocked when I heard another season was being filmed. I couldn't imagine what was left to show. I had hoped to simply live my life with David, enjoying peace and privacy. Instead, I still work with producers to shape storylines. Maybe my new beginning is the story now, the part about finding hope again. These days, much of my focus is on planning retirement, managing our vacation rental, searching for another property, and spending precious time with my grandchildren. Janelle and I remain close, and we still do activities together, which sometimes gets filmed. She has her flower farm, which feels like a dream realized. Looking back, I did love being part of the show. It brought challenges but also gave us opportunities and helped me grow. More than anything, I value how much I've changed through the experience. I love who I have become because of everything, the show, living in polygamy, and meeting so many people along the way. But the book makes it clear, after season 20, it seems Christine is ready to step away. She doesn't want to talk about Cody anymore. Rehashing the past has been painful, and writing this book was her way of putting a final period at the end of that story. One part of her account that might be overlooked is how she had to tell their longtime producer, Tim Gibbons, that she was leaving Cody. Back in 2008 or 2009, Tim pitched the show because he thought polygamists were being denied civil rights. But Christine points out that this argument doesn't hold. Civil rights protect things like race, gender, and sexuality. Polygamy, especially when tied to coercion, trafficking, or abuse, is not a protected right. You may have freedom of religion, but you don't have freedom to break the law in its name. Christine explains that Cody coerced her into marriage. He wasn't truly attracted to her but married her for status in the church. He denied her happiness elsewhere while never giving her love or respect. That, by definition, is coercion. Her story makes clear that polygamy in this system cannot exist without abuse and control over women. In the end, Christine admits the harm of the culture she was raised in, but I believe this book came too early. Perhaps in 10 more years, with more distance, her reflections would look very different. I honestly believe that if Christine had written her book many years from now, it would sound very different. The more distance she has from polygamy, and the further she gets away from Cody, the more clearly she will see her own story. Right now, she is still too close to it all. When you live with someone who constantly manipulates you, and when the show itself keeps pressing questions that force you to relive that manipulation, it's nearly impossible to see reality without distortion. I'm not a psychologist, but I've spoken with people who have left controlling groups and covered stories of many survivors. The same pattern appears again and again. It can take years, sometimes decades, before people truly understand the depth of the harm they endured. It takes time to look at the abuse without feeling guilt or shame. Christine admits she feels embarrassed. She's ashamed that she lived this way, that her children were raised in that world, and that she allowed Cody to treat her so poorly. Right now, that shame makes her blame herself. With more time, I believe she'll move from shame to clarity, and finally say without hesitation, "I was abused." In her book, she edges close to saying that, but she never states it outright. She also talks about telling their producer, Tim Gibbons, about the end of her marriage. Tim had been there from the beginning. He pitched the show back in 2008 or 2009 because he thought polygamists were being denied civil rights. But as Christine herself explains, polygamy is not a civil right. Civil rights protect things like race, gender, and sexuality. Religion is protected too, but that protection doesn't give people permission to break the law. Abuse, coercion, and trafficking under the cover of religion are crimes, not rights. When Christine and Cody finally told him the truth, he cried. He had spent years with the family and cared about them. But this was not the story he thought he was filming. He wanted to show the world that polygamous families could be loving, equal, and respectful. Instead, as Christine left, Cody revealed himself as the opposite, controlling, demanding, and openly declaring himself the patriarch. Everything Tim believed about the family fell apart. After staying for 2 more years, he left the show in 2024. Christine also admits that she thought about leaving as early as season 1. By season 6, she was certain. Yet, on camera, she played her role. She participated in ceremonies of unity while secretly planning her exit. During one commitment ceremony, as she poured sand into a shared container, she thought, "This is ridiculous. I'm not staying." Her outward actions showed loyalty, but inside she was already gone. Eventually, Christine stopped pretending. She began speaking honestly, even when it upset Cody. That shift is why Cody turned against her. He preferred the wives who kept up the lies. So here's the question. If Christine doesn't want to film anymore, if the producer who created the show has walked away, and if the truth of the family's deception is out in the open, will viewers really want to watch season 20? Christine's book makes it clear. The story we were shown was never the whole truth. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.